So this morning I'm leaving the Shropshire Union Canal. I've turned around and I'm now heading back down to Orthley Junction, back onto the Staffordshire and Worcestershire Canal. Why am I doing this? Well, I've decided I can't really do the fit out and especially the painting of the boat on my own. So I'm going to head back to Nottingham where I used to live. I've got a good network of friends there that are all willing to help me, and I just need to get on with finalising the fitting out, finalising the electrics inside, because it's quite tough living out of boxes for 4 months and tripping over everything and not living in a nice environment. And of course I need to paint out Alice's exterior. So that's the plan, and it'll take me around about a week to get back to Nottingham.
I'd only travelled about 2.5 miles up the Shroppy to just north of the M54 motorway, and the beautiful countryside meant it certainly wasn't a wasted trip. I returned to Orthley Junction and turned left back onto the Staffordshire and Worcestershire Canal, where before long I needed to concentrate.
In the Collins book it says very narrow cutting. I would tend to agree with that.
This section was only wide enough for one boat at a time. However, like on country roads, there were periodic laybys where oncoming craft could wait for you to pass. Luckily today though, I met nothing travelling south.
So that was a bit embarrassing. I moored up, I used my centre line, which to be fair has been fraying a bit, and I have got a new one ready. But I used my centre line to moor up. I used a chain which chained against the railings on the side of the canal, and I went inside and had some lunch. Whilst busily eating my lunch and replying to comments from all of you guys on YouTube, a boat went past, a bit of clanging, which is fine. I just thought it was the chain against the side of the boat. Another boat went past, a bit more clanging, but I carried on working. And then about 10 minutes later, 2 people, sort of figures I could see. I couldn't see who, but I could see sort of 2 figures right next to the boat, stopped on their bikes and sort of looking, and I was like, well, what are they looking at? I came outside and the centre line had snapped and the boat was gently drifting right out into the middle of the canal, which was a little bit embarrassing. So I threw one of my other lines over to them and they very kindly pulled me in, and I used a different rope and moored up again. But that just shows, if you've got a fraying rope, to look after it and cut it out and get rid of that bit. So I've got 2 centre lines, one each side, and both of them have been fraying because I didn't have the anchor points on the side of the boat, on the roof. In fact, I've only got one. So when the boat goes back and forth, it rubs against the side, which has made it fray a little bit. So thank goodness it was on a lovely peaceful canal with no one really around, rather than on a river and a weir or something horrible. But lesson learnt, I need to change my centre lines.
I wanted to take my time travelling along the Staffordshire and Worcestershire Canal. Navigating north, it quickly exits the densely populated suburbs of Wolverhampton and winds back and forth through beautiful countryside and small villages. In a long wide turn it heads east and meets the Trent and Mersey Canal at Great Haywood.
I've only got a couple of locks today. It's quite warm, so I'm taking my time.
Tixel lock, it became positively busy.
I'm just walking the boat down. There's no point getting back on board when you've only got to move 30-40 foot. But the first boat's gone in, one has come up, and I'll moor up on a bollard here, ready to go down. I expect there's another one waiting to come up, so it's one in, one out today.
On the last stretch of the Staffordshire and Worcestershire Canal is an area called the Broadwater. The canal opens into a large, almost lake, and the towpath is lined with moored boats taking advantage of the view. As I got closer to the junction on the Trent and Mersey Canal at Great Haywood, the wind really started to pick up. The last thing you want when there are lots of moored boats and watching eyes. I need to turn right after the junction.
So I got through Great Haywood okay. Turning the corner, the wind was coming off the field, so I used that to my advantage because luckily it was pushing in the right direction, so I didn't really need to do much steering. If I was turning left out of Staffordshire and Worcestershire Canal, I think it would have been a bit different, but I'm now on the Trent and Mersey, and I'm going to find somewhere to moor up and have some lunch, I think.
I've had a number of requests for me to set up a Patreon account. I'm pleased to say it's now live, and I've included a number of rewards, including stickers, postcards and bonus material. I've included a link to Patreon in the description below. And this video is dedicated to Kitty Oskin from California, who is already a top level patron. Thank you so much, Kitty. Next time I make the final journey to Derbyshire, travel down through Fradley Junction locks and battle with some pretty gusty winds. Click the subscribe button if you want to follow what Molly and I are up to. And if you like this video, click the thumbs up. Until next time, see you later.